Hi, my name's Keith Cooper, No Flight Images. This video is about a question somebody asked me the other day, and they said, why do you hate film so much, Keith? And I was taken aback a bit, and I thought, well, what have I said that gives the impression I hate film? Well, yeah, I have said that it's a technology with a great future behind it, and a few other remarks like that, but how can I really sort of say I hate film when film is what got me into photography? I think it was probably because I was having a bit of a go at some of the pretentious nonsense that spouted about the resurgence of film and how it's making a great comeback and various things like that. So first up, and I'm sorry if anyone was hoping for an argument on the matter, I don't actually hate film. Why should I? It's a means of expressing your photography. However, it is not an awful lot of things which people seem to claim it is. It's what I learnt photography on years ago when I was at school. And one of the things is, I say it's great if you get the opportunity and you can afford it, give it a go, see what you like. It may well give a new appreciation to you, other aspects of your photography and digital photography in particular. If it's your first sort of introduction to big cameras, then yeah, great, go for it. If all you've used before, I say all you've used, they're better than ever these days, is a phone camera, then, and you want to actually sort of get into using bigger stuff, then yeah, give it a go. But it's 20 years since I gave up using film. Now, this is actually from an article I wrote nearly 20 years ago about my switch to digital, which coincided with me taking up photography professionally. And there is my trusty OM2. The lens that's on that one there is actually on the EOS RP that I'm shooting this video with. So that lens is still in use. It's a perfectly good lens. There is the Canon 1DS. Absolute house brick of a camera compared to what I was used to using, but that's what I got into doing my professional photography with. And I've stuck with Canon up until recently this year. I still use my 5DS, but I've now got Fujifilm GFX 100. I moved up to what is almost medium format. Not really up from film size because the sensor is nowhere near as big as a full medium format frame. But if you're going to look at film, 35mm is the place to go. Problem is, I probably have, and this is probably why somebody asked me the question, is that it's people bigging it up as if it's something great and new and, well, I suppose it is to some people. It's some of the sort of pretentious nonsense that you get about, oh, the reality of film images. Film images, chemicals on plastic sheets or glass sheets, if you want to do something like this 5x4 camera here, is no more real than electrons collected on a silicon sensor. The lenses are the same. Well, lenses are far better these days. So interesting to see how really high quality film performs with modern high quality lenses. If only I had the spare time to do it, and that's it, I don't. Been there, done that. It doesn't attract me. Now, if I was running a photography magazine, I would undoubtedly have to, every 6 months at least, run a resurgence of film article. Photography magazines are in difficulties, much like many websites and other things. Look at the problems of DP Review recently. And finding something like film to add to what they can talk about. And they've got an inexhaustible supply of back articles as well, written over years ago, which they can reform and redo and rehash into articles of it. Yeah, it gives you something. But look at the numbers. Film is minuscule. Commercially, and this was also somebody was asking me why I didn't shoot film commercially. Now, that's an easy one. It's the economics of it. It's the time, and that is the economics of it. I went the other day to a company. I took the GFX 100 with me here, GFX 100S. I took that. I used that with assorted lenses. Some of the shots I took in 35mm mode because I was using like the Canon fisheye here and things like that. But I've got those, but I was a few hours on site. I came back, I was looking through the pictures that afternoon, I'd sorted them out, and the next morning, because I don't like to be too quick just in case, since they weren't paying for rush processing, I was able to send off a load of sample images. even years ago when there were film labs all over the place, you couldn't easily get stuff done, and it cost money to process stuff. You could say, well, it makes you more careful about what you take pictures of. Yeah, it would, but I've never come away from a job or anything thinking I wish I'd taken less pictures. And the cost today, certainly, of processing and buying film and things like that, to do just a whole lot of pictures like I would if I went off somewhere with one of the digital cameras and that, yeah, no comparison. Remember, that's commercial, so that's different slightly to how you may do it if you're doing it as a hobby. But and so it used to be cheap. You do your own black and white. This image here, which I've got a video about this, I'll put a link to this one. Now, this is one. I've just taken this off the wall. This sits behind my where I edit most of my photos. It's a print made in about 1998, 99, when I first experimented printing. Digital printing, scanning film and doing that. And I keep it here as much as anything to see how it ages. It's not in bright light at all, but it's a picture on the Suffolk beach. It was taken to film. It was taken, I believe, in the 1980s, 1984 from it. But so I've got a video that looks at all the background behind this picture of things. But, a print, a picture taken on film, a print, albeit a digital one, that's one of my favourite. It sits behind where I edit things. That's, there is no higher compliment for me personally for a picture than I want it there on the wall when I'm working. It's part of what I do. That reminds me where I came from, film, and that's it. But yeah, it's a creative process. But consider when you're looking at Scott. Now, some people just go into it just because, it's a new fashion, it's a fad. I suppose, the people in that area have always tended to irritate me. It's not my age or anything. People like that would have irritated me when I was at school. It's just the way I am. But it's creative, yes. But what do you think this lot is? This takes creativity to use as well. So it's new skills to acquire. And here my warning flags go up. Because over the years, I do all the technical reviews and stuff I do. And a lot of that is partly to help my own photography. This is my way of learning stuff. If I can explain it in an article, video or anything, or like a book I did on tilt-shift lenses, then that helps me understand that I have actually understood the topic well enough. Now that's great. Some people, though, I've noticed, look at photography as acquiring skills, as a series of craft skills to be acquired. And there are plenty of new skills can be acquired for when you're going into film photography, particularly if you want to do your own processing. If you want to get really technical and avoid the photography, you can get into 3D printing your own bits of cameras and things. There's all kinds of stuff. But I'm always reminded that all of these technical things like this are often a diversion from thinking about your actual photography. Learning the skills how to use stuff, tick the box. Now, this is a thing almost exclusively men do this. I've never come across, and over the years, I'm not sure, maybe, I've never come across women who look at the technical side in quite the same way. It's a thing. It was the same with cars, hi-fi, rebuilding motorbike engines, all the stuff like that. Rebuilding your motorbike engine saves you actually having to go out on the road on the thing. But the same thing applies to film. Can make some great images. Would I make this image today with modern camera? Well, no, because a lot of this sums up. This is the Suffolk coast. This is coast where I grew up near. This is what inspired much of my landscape photography. The views there, that's it. This particular camera here, so Olympus OM2, my father had one of these. Now I've just been down to Ipswich where I grew up. My father died recently and we've been clearing the house. And I've found the old rotary slide magazines that take about 120 slides per one. I've found in a cupboard 25 or more of those packed with slides. I've also found loads of photo albums of prints. Now, one of the things of this does mean that I'm going to be, probably next year, I noticed Epson make a fast print scanner that you can just load up prints and it will scan them. It does all kinds of fancy. I'd never come across this before. As I say, as well as these 25 or possibly more rotary magazines, there is a projector as well, although I do have a projector which will run those. But also, must be thousands and thousands of prints. I'm going to have a look at this scanner next year to see whether I can use this as a quick way of digitizing these prints. It's supposedly smart enough to even notice where there's writing on the back and record that as well, which is rather neat. So that's something I'll have a look at in the new year. But I say, obviously going through this, seeing all my dad's old photo gear, now he got rid of most of it in recent years because he's not been out so much, but seeing that reminded me of where my photography came from. Yes, it was film, but I moved on. One little bit about this and this sums it up, a lot of the stuff about the complaints I get about digital, complaints I get about people not wanting to go back to film and the like. If you think digital photography is too easy, you are not trying hard enough. It's as simple as that. And anyway, what's wrong with it being easy? Why should it have to be hard to make? Why should I have to generate, all the hassles I'd need to take photographs with this 5x4 here? If it wasn't just for the fact that, I can feel happy that I've used some venerable bit of equipment and managed to master it and that. What's that got to do with the photography? Not a lot, I'll venture. Now, that doesn't mean, as ever, your mileage may vary. I appreciate people like film for all sorts of reasons. But if you're going to accuse me of hating film, be fair about it. Yeah, there are some aspects of it today and the way it's promoted that I find irksome. Hate? No, absolutely not. No, film is where I come from. But that was years ago, years and years ago. Anyway, I hope that's that rant is of some interest to people. Please do comment. I do appreciate it. I appreciate film. It may be important to you. That's good. No way it's important. And if you were thinking digital is too easy, you're wrong. You're not trying hard enough. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please do subscribe to the channel. Much appreciated. Thanks.